Welcome back to the NFLA. He's Calvo, I'm Brooksee, and this is the podcast equivalent of a car crash you can't look away from. It's week 9 coming up, and my Eagles go into their much needed bye, while Calvo's Lions are just coming back this week from their bye, and hopefully all of you out there who play fantasy football survive bye week hell.
Finally a week we don't have to see the tush push. But at this point, every week feels more like a hostage situation, right? I think we're barely even fans of the sport at this point. We keep waking up with Stockholm syndrome after every loss. We swear we're done, and by Thursday we're looking up injury reports and making parlays.
Isn't that the truth? Oh, my dude. But I mean, honestly, though, football is the only thing that consistently ruins my mood and empties my wallet. And I just keep thanking it for the privilege.
Yeah, perfect combination. And you know
Yeah.
what puts me in a bad mood? Dumpster fires and the Kansas City Chiefs flipping the switch on the whole league again, jump starting their push while half the league is still pretending the Chiefs finally sucked.
Oh man, they're top 3 in the
True.
power rankings again somehow. But
Ugh.
meanwhile, those Washington Commanders went from maybe a playoff squeak to full-on dumpster fire, thanks to injuries, penalties, and a defense that pretty much just forgot how to stop people.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that game as we go along here, as well as a bunch more. But right off the top, we should probably mention that next week's episode is not just another podcast. It's more than that. It's the Bravo Awards, our
Woo!
annual celebration of football excellence, failure, and psychological warfare.
That's right. In addition to MVPs and Coach of the Year, we're talking, things like worst decision of the season, most dramatic sideline breakdown, and the highly coveted "You Had One Job" trophy.
Oh, well, that's new. So consider this week the calm before the storm. We'll break down week 8, roast whoever deserves it, and prepare our tuxedos for the Bravos, assuming that my good man Brooksy over here can still fit into his.
That's a negative, good sir, but none of the Bravonians want to see me try and stuff myself into it anyway. Trust me. But you know
No,
what?
sir.
You know what, fans? Stick around because your favorite NFL-loving Canadians are here, and we are a great fit to talk some football south of the border. So let's dive into some wild Week 8 games, brother.
Sure. Well, let's start with a pretty wild one of two extremely offensively inept teams in the New York Jets and the Cincinnati Bengals in
Game of the week?
game of the week. Yeah, really? 39-38, the Jets sneak out a win, breaking their winless streak, ruining my prediction of 0-14. And of course, it was the dumpster fire Cincinnati Bengals that allowed this to happen. And of course, it took a trick play with Brees Hall throwing a touchdown to get it done. What a crazy game.
And every time you light a team up on your dumpster fire, they go out and do something. So there goes our one hope at seeing a winless season. The Jets finally get off the schneid, get their first win of the year, 39 points, and I think they were down. What was it, the 17-point deficit or something?
Yeah,
Since he had a huge lead late and just coughed it up, and it's crazy to see that Jets team get a win, but they fought for it. That defense pulled it out late, a couple of huge stops, and they got it done. Man, that was great.
well, we've been doing, or I've been doing, I guess, modifications of the dumpster fire of the week since season 1. And it does feel like that's a trend that anytime I pipe off on a team, they
Yep.
go on like this crazy stretch. Like we've seen the Raiders do it. Well, they didn't really go on a crazy stretch. The Broncos, right? They
Yeah.
started winning after that. Man, it just, I guess, if you're a fan of any team that's struggling, drop a comment of your team and I'll pick them for a dumpster fire just to motivate them a little bit more. So, but I mean, is it really, a coincidence that the Bengals just keep blowing lead after lead after lead, not to expect this to happen even against the Jets?
Well, I mean, with the defense like that, it's going to be you have to expect it, right? Like if there's one team that can beat that Cincy defense is going to be the Jets, and of course, it took a trick play, even Brees Hall with the
Right.
with the passing touchdown at the end to get it done. So yeah,
Yeah. Well,
Cincy,
what's funny, I'm pretty sure it was a trick play that the Lions ran to beat the Jets a couple of years ago that Aaron
and they
Glenn
just
just
took it out of the
stole
playbook.
and just took it out of the playbook. Hey, you know it might work in this situation. But man, yeah, what a wild game for two teams that don't really know how to score. But what's kind of crazy about that Cincy defense, they have 3 players that are like top 10 in missed tackles.
Yeah, yeah, you're not going to get anywhere if you're missing that many tackles. But the one thing that I keep looking at, and Cincy, if they can tread water until Joe Burrow gets back, we've talked about this. They had every opportunity to beat the worst fucking team in the league this week and go to 4-4. Pittsburgh lost. Pittsburgh
Yeah,
lost this week to Green Bay, so they would have fallen to they did fall to 4-3. Cincy would have been a half game back of the division lead, if you can fucking believe that, if they
right.
had just beaten the Jets. So, I mean, they're just shooting themselves in the foot at this point. It's almost like they don't want to make the playoffs.
Right. Yeah. Well, hey, is what it is. And a team that took a serious blow to their playoff hopes over the last couple of weeks is the Carolina Panthers, right? And
Ugh.
didn't do themselves any favor. Obviously, Bryce Young was out in this one, but man, the Bills laid a shellacking on the Panthers, 40-9. Tough one.
And talking about run defense is getting fucking destroyed since his defense got destroyed. So did Carolina's. 216 rushing yards for James Cook. You would have thought, oh, Buffalo put up 40. Oh, Josh Allen must have had a day. No, I think he completed like 12 passes.
Yeah.
It was all the running game. James Cook over 200 yards. Well, I mean, if you're getting it done on the ground and it's working, why would you ever put the ball in the air, right?
Right. Well, there's been a lot of talk over these last couple games with the Bills, especially during that 2-game losing streak, is why aren't they using James Cook?
Right.
Like you just paid him all this money. He is clearly the cog in the offense that makes it all go.
Yeah,
And
man.
you're not even using him. And then this game absolutely proved why he should. So,
I mean, and against a run defense that kind of came into this game top five in the league.
mhm.
So, I mean, Carolina, you say what you want about the Carolina Panthers. They were my preseason pick to win the division. I obviously don't think that's going to happen now.
Uh-oh.
I kind of wish that they would turn things around, but they do have a pretty good defense. And I was just kind of banking on Bryce Young taking that next step this year. He obviously hasn't done that. They've been fighting some injuries. He's been fighting some injuries, but yeah,
Yeah.
that run defense took a shit kicking. So,
Yeah. Well, Bryce is treading water this year, just
yeah.
like the Bengals are trying to do too, right? But
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I think there's still a lot of football left, so you never know what can happen. But just got to stay healthy and
Hmm.
maybe go on a run. And I haven't really looked to see what the Panthers schedule is like moving forward, but probably some winnable games in there. So you never know.
Well,
But one
they're in
game,
the NFC South, so definitely some winnable games in there.
right? Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
one team that's perennially terrible as well as the Chicago Bears, and they were getting hot, right? I think they won 4 in a row.
Hmm.
Well, they ran into quarterback Tyler Huntley of the Baltimore Ravens.
The
Who needs
Baltimore's,
Lamar? The
right?
Baltimores roll into Chicago and win 30-16, ruining any 4-game winning streak that the Bears had in hopes of getting five. But yeah, it was like 16-0, I think, in the middle of the game, right? And those Chicago flaws were on full display, I think, in this one.
Well, to me, like Tyler Huntley that comes in and I was listening to some of the players talk about Tyler Huntley. And obviously, everyone wants Lamar back, but Tyler Huntley's a good quarterback, man. And
Mhm.
like he comes to work, and apparently the way he prepares like he's the starter. He doesn't give a shit what his role is. If they call on him, they call on him. But he prepares every week like he's the starter.
Right.
So when you got a guy putting in that kind of work, the results are going to be there. And like they interviewed Roquan Smith after the game, and he talked about what this win meant. And it's like if they can get a win before Lamar comes back, and now he's coming back this coming week, like this was like kind of like the first stone in motion type of thing for
Yeah.
Baltimore, and I think they're going to go on a run now. Honestly, like this was just kind of like a statement win for them, one that they desperately needed. So look out for the Baltimore Ravens, man, 2-5, but they get Lamar back now. Whew.
The Baltimores are coming.
Yeah, they are.
Yes, phrasing. And I almost mentioned it in the when we just talked about the Steelers losing and the Bengals blowing a perfect opportunity to pull within a half game, right? This is the opportunity that the Ravens needed to knock on the door, right? And get a win without your starting QB in there. And now he's coming back and healthy. Supposed to start this Thursday. So yeah, look out for the Baltimores.
First ballot Hall of Famer when he gets there, Derrick Henry. I promise you, there will be no question he's going to get in.
Mm-hmm.
Passes Walter Payton for fifth most rushing touchdowns in NFL history. Derrick Henry, his first touchdown of this game was his 111th rushing touchdown in his career. And he's still going, man. Like he's what,
Yeah.
30, 31. He's still got a couple of good years left in him, the way he takes care of himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Call him the king for a reason.
Yes,
So
sir.
man, what a beast.
Yeah.
Speaking of beasts right now, too, rookie, well, not a rookie, quarterback.
Feels like it.
Yeah, right. Well, maybe, yeah. I think he got hurt last year, right? So we
Yeah.
got robbed a little bit of it. But yeah,
Yeah.
Drake May looking all the part right
Oh
now.
my God,
Threw
man.
3 touchdowns over the Cleveland Browns defense and won 32-13. It's pretty close for the first half. And then Patriots start to pull away in the third and just blew it open.
And then Drake May woke up in this third quarter and decided to just sling a bunch of touchdown passes all over the place.
Right.
God, he hit three different receivers. Hunter Henry, we talked about him last week, how he's, quietly becoming one of the best tight ends in the league, most reliable tight ends in the
Mhm.
league. Stephon Diggs caught a touchdown pass. Keyshawn Booty, is it Booty?
Yeah,
Booty,
Booty.
Booty? Booty. I
Gotta love
love
the
that name.
booty.
It's a great name. Caught a touchdown pass at the end of the third quarter. So, I mean, he's got weapons. He's got poise. He's got a defense. Man, the New England Patriots are 6-2.
Right?
What?
Who would have thought?
What?
And apparently selling off pieces too. Like they're like, yeah, we don't even need these guys. Whatever. Who cares? But speaking
Yeah.
of great defenses, usually Cleveland's right in the mix for that, right? Usually one of the top scoring and just defensive defenses,
Yeah.
and it's usually the offense that's letting them down. And
Yep.
I'd say it's still pretty much that. I mean, or maybe it's just a one-man wrecking crew. Miles Garrett, 5 sacks in this game. Drake May was getting hit everywhere, and yet still somehow routes the Browns. It's incredible what he was doing.
And for him to take apart a defense like the Browns have, I
Hmm.
mean, I think that just kind of speaks volumes about where he's at mentally and like his poise and like just where he knows the playbook and his fucking execution ability at this point. The fucking Patriots scare me, man.
I know. And hey,
I
it
I
just
never would have thought I'd say that this year.
bring in an animal like Vrabel, and all of a sudden this team
Yeah,
is adopting his identity. And man, they're going to be scary if they can keep it going. So
honestly, yeah.
yeah, apparently they're looking for some running back help. So I guess they don't even want to use Travion Henderson this year, and it'll be Ramondre and whoever they bring in.
Well, because I mean, honestly, everyone's tearing something this year. So if they put him
Right.
out there, he's just going to tear an ACL or something. So you might as well keep him on the shelf. Only use him if you need him. You're winning regardless. So,
That's true.
but speaking of keeping things rolling, the Green Bay Packers moved to 5-1-1.
Ugh.
That's right. The Pack still just have the one loss on the year. They beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh, 35-25. Quarterback Jordan Love, I think 360 yards passing in this game. His best game of the year by far. Green Bay's most complete effort since their Week 1 win, and threw for 3 touchdowns as well. Tied a franchise record for completions. Jordan Love's feeling it, buddy, and Green Bay's feeling it.
Right. Well, just like we talked about Cleveland having a pretty scary defense, Pittsburgh was always pretty feared too. And man, that's secondary just getting torched this
Yeah.
year. And yeah, maybe it just took a little date with Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers to spark his best game of the year, just
Hmm.
to prove everyone right. But yeah, I don't know. The Packers are scary, and I don't like how this division's shaping up for the future for the battle between the Packers and the Lions.
They're definitely a flawed team, but they've got the firepower Green Bay does
Yep.
to put teams away late. So,
Yeah. Yuck.
yuck. Anything else you want to say about the Packers? Probably not.
No, no,
Nah, I
I
don't
I
think so.
prefer not to speak about them at all. But
Well, let's talk about another team then that you love to talk about.
the Giants.
Well, yes, for sure. We will talk about that. But the Philadelphia Eagles smash them 38-20. Eagles
Mhm.
go to 6-2 and they win the rematch in Philly, so they hold serve. Saquon Barkley goes off. Finally has a 100-yard day. He hit 150 actually, but he had a long run at the end of the third quarter. Kind of pulled up lame. They decided to rest him for the fourth quarter, so Tank Bigsby comes in, runs for 100 yards in the fourth quarter himself, and the
Crazy.
Eagles just it was like 276 yards rushing a team or something, just buried the Giants on the ground.
Kind of weird what happens when you use one of your best players, right?
Yeah, right?
Weird how that works, but man, finally gets some usage and then pulls up lame. It's
Yeah.
quite
Not used to
comical.
running this much in a game
No,
anymore.
exactly. But speaking of running backs, one guy you got to feel absolutely terrible for, and we've talked about him on end on this podcast
Yeah.
this year, is Cam Scatterboo. And fortunately, kind of a nothing play, gets kind of hip drop tackled by Zach Bond, right? And I mean, it was. Let's call it what it was. It was a hip
It was
drop.
not a hip
It
drop.
was maybe not to the full definition, but it still was. But unfortunately, his ankle was completely sideways and it ended Scadaboo's year. So hate to see that.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that it was going to be between him and Ibuka moving down the stretch here for offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah.
And that's kind of snatched away from him. You never want to see anybody's season end like that. But
Definitely
man, that
not.
was gruesome. It kind of looked like Dak a couple of years ago when he went down with his. So yeah, you hate to see that for the young guy, but no doubt
He
he'll be
he
back
got
next year.
rolled up on and it looked pretty gruesome. You see his foot like pointing the wrong direction, but like here's and throwback to season 1 here of the NFLA. just how pro would you be, buddy, if you're Cam Scatterbo in that situation? Did you see his reaction? He just like he's such a mouth breather. It's like, oh, I don't even know if he feels pain. He's just like, ugh. Like he points down at his leg after it happens. He's just like, yeah, by the way, trainers, you might want to come and help me out here. Like he didn't even
Right.
seem distressed by it. Just like, man, like,
No.
dude, your foot is backwards. What the?
Yeah. I would have been on replay vomiting all over the field.
Well, and that's it. Like I don't know how you react like that, or lack of reaction like that. If you're
Yeah.
Cam, like you just, I would have been bawling. I would have been like,
Right.
my leg is backwards. Like,
Right. Honestly, though,
oh
I
my
think it's
God,
just
dude.
adrenaline and shock. You're just like, I see it's pointing that way. I don't really feel it's pointing that way,
I feel
but
like
it
it shouldn't
is.
be. Yeah.
Is that actually my leg or is that somebody else?
Oh my God, man. What a
Oh man.
pro.
Yeah. Well, poor guy. I mean, like I said, I feel terrible for him. And
Yeah. You hate to see that. And
right.
that really let the air out of the tires of the entire Giants team. You could see them after that point. There was
Oh
no
yeah.
coming back in the game.
Well, I
So
think that was kind of the turning point in the game, right? Because
yeah,
that happened in the second quarter.
it was still
You
a
could
close
see
game.
like
Yeah.
just kind of much like what happened to Tank Dell last year. Stroud was visibly upset on the sidelines. Same with Jackson Dart, and he
Yeah.
just even though Dart still had a pretty decent game after that, even though they didn't really have much chance to come back. It yeah, it's tough to think about football at that point when one of your best buddies is down and out like that, right?
Yeah,
So
for sure.
yeah, but
Yeah.
man, not down and out. Your boy Jalen Hurts.
Well, he had a passer rating of 100, over 140 again, 2 games in a row now after that perfect passer rating he had last game. Leads the league with that 20 touchdown to 2 turnover ratio. Guys getting it done. Obviously didn't have a ton of passing yards again this game. Didn't have to because the run game went for almost 300 yards itself. So, yeah, Jalen Hurts just efficiently running this offense still seeing hate. Whatever. I'm done talking about it.
I want to see my passer rating if I could just throw 10-yard checkdowns all
He
game and then
doesn't
just
throw chin. He fucking
oh come
bombs it,
on.
dude. He
Sometimes
throws
I could do
bombs.
that too. 40-yard bomb to Devontae, sure.
I know you can, but not with fucking 6'8" defenders in your face. You can't.
Oh come on, I'm not Tua. I might
I've
be
seen you
six
throw
one,
with
just
no
like
defense
Tua.
coming at you. You got a decent arm, but put you under some pressure. I'd love to see it.
Hey, I'm mobile as fuck, buddy.
Okay.
Sure, no, but yeah, no doubt, good game for Jalen. But I think it's testament, right? Like you finally start running the ball, and it allows you to be a quarterback and
Yeah,
throw the
man.
ball, right?
Yep.
Instead of just running the ball all the time. So kudos to the Eagles.
Well,
Keep
and you
rolling.
and we were talking about how they only play 2 quarters of football every game. They finally played 4 quarters, so that
Yep.
was nice to see. Maybe turning things around here going into the bye.
Well, you better start because you guys are about to start getting some harder
Yeah,
matchups
the
down the road
gauntlet
here.
coming. We got Green Bay out of the bye. We got you guys coming up very soon.
I think it's
Yeah,
like 3 weeks, I think.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
It's
think it's a
Green
Sunday
Bay.
night or two. That's going
I
to be
think we got another
spicy.
tough one, and then we play you Sunday night, week 11 or something. Yeah,
Right.
it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great week.
Oh, yeah. Tune in for that one,
Oh
folks.
yeah. All right,
Sure.
let's move
Well,
on.
yeah, maybe only one other game of the week worth kind of talking about, and
Yep.
maybe not to a certain extent, but yeah, we kind of prefaced it in the intro. The Kansas City Chiefs absolutely dismantled the Commanders on primetime Monday night, winning 28-7. And this one just really wasn't even close right from the get-go. Travis Kelce looked like he was like 26 again. And man, him and Mahomes just kind of torched the Commanders all game long.
It was kind of close in the first quarter, and then Mahomes just woke up in the second half and put this game away. Yeah, this is a pretty solid cap off to Week 8 Monday night showdown here against a team or featuring a team, sorry, in Kansas City that they started slow and everyone was kind of wondering like, is this team done? Now they're third in the power rankings. They're up to 5-3 and they look dominant most weeks now. The offense and the defense both look pretty crisp and they win by 3 scores over the Commanders, who at 3-5 now, the Commanders have matched their loss total from last year. They finished 12-5 last year. They're already at
Mhm.
3-5 this year. Not quite the same year for Jaden and crew.
No, and I mean injuries are going to play a part of that. Like they've
Yeah.
been missing McLaurin for weeks. Debo's in and out.
Yeah.
Jaden's been down and out too, and I haven't really
Eckler
paid
all
attention
year.
to their defense, right? But yeah, it's kind of an interesting year. We thought they'd be in contention to maybe push the Eagles for the division. It's probably not looking like that at this point,
Yeah.
but
Dallas might be a more worthy competition at this point. Yeah.
yeah, I would probably agree. And I mean, I know last week we kind of said we don't see the love for Mahomes being MVP, but is he kind of slowly showing that he probably should be in that conversation again?
As much as we hate to admit
Yeah. Ugh.
it.
Awful.
Yeah. All right. So Washington, yeah, I guess unless they stop the bleeding, this season could spiral out of control pretty fast. But that I think is our recap of Week 8, the games that mattered anyway, and
Mhm.
the teams that are moving and shaking and playing some decent football right now. So what do you think, Calvo? Do you got a dumpster fire, fresh dumpster fire for us this week? What are
It
we
feels like every
roasting?
week we got
Who,
something new to talk about.
who
And
we
ladies and
roasting?
gentlemen, the one, the only Atlanta Falcons,
Woo, the Dirty
the,
Birds.
the Dirty Birds. I thought a falcon was supposed to be like a prestigious bird. These guys make them look like seagulls. Like honestly, this team is just doomed to toil and mediocrity, I feel. From controversy to career ruiners, this team by far has it all, right? This team has been loaded with studs over the years. If you think about it, Matt Ryan, Michael
Seriously.
Vick,
Yeah.
Roddy White, Julio Jones, prime
Roddy
time
White.
prime time Deion Sanders.
Yep.
And now they got Bijan, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and yet somehow always find a way to never be relevant. And even the 2 years that they were great and went to the Super Bowl in 1999 and 2016, they managed to just fumble so hard and shoot themselves in the foot.
28-3. Oof.
Falcons fans, this is your trigger warning to cover your ears, okay? And yes, a certain overtime Super Bowl loss to the Patriots after leading 28-3 late in the third quarter
Oh,
will probably forever embody the identity of the Atlanta Falcons. Went down as probably the most infamous losses of all time.
yep.
Like, wouldn't you agree with this? And probably across like all major sports, right?
It's got to be top three across all major sports. Yeah.
Man. And I feel like this team has just been doomed ever since, right? Like every year we're like, and we look like idiots for doing this, but we're like, the
Falcons are going to be
Falcons are going to
good.
be good this year.
Yeah.
But why? Why do we think this? Like, what have they ever done that proves this theory?
Nothing.
Like, half the time they float around 500. Not only them, but most of their division has been dog shit for years. And somehow every year we think it's bound to improve. Again, Stockholm syndrome here. But
Yeah.
fast forward
Yeah.
to this year, right? I think this is the most frustrating part for their fans. You absolutely dismantled the Bills based on heroic games by Bijan and London. And then things look awesome for a little bit, and you go out, lay a literal goose egg against the Carolina Panthers, can barely manage to score 10 points against a really shitty Dolphins team that literally cannot function most weeks. Another top 10 points against an extremely banged up San Fran defense the week before that.
Embarrassing.
These kind of up and down performances just make you want to smash your head through the drywall more than Cam Scattaboo and question your loyalty to any team, let alone your favorite one. The only thing more inconsistent than Atlanta's defense is probably their stadium attendance at halftime.
Oof.
I'm just convinced that these Falcons fans don't tailgate anymore. They pre-grieve any game. They're just like, what's going to happen this time? Just let's get it over with. And I think the Falcons can prove that a bird can fly right into a window. And
Can
ladies
they
and
ever?
gentlemen, that is your dumpster fire of the week. The Atlanta Falcons still leading the league in
Roast.
emotional damage.
Roast in the dumpster, Atlanta.
Yeah,
You
you
know what?
stink.
In the past couple weeks, there was did you saw the video of the Jets fan, that kid that they were asking him how he felt
Yeah,
about. I hate this team. Like I was
yeah.
born into this, and I'll always be a Jets fan, but I fucking hate this team. And the best one I saw this week was it was someone had posted. The best thing about being an Atlanta Falcons fan is one day I'll be dead.
I did see that too. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
one day I'll
Well,
be dead.
I'm sorry, Atlanta fans. Yes, you are the dumpster fire of the week. And if you are that one fan out there that's probably watching this show, drop your comment in the on the video. This is a safe space for you. Just bask and
Yeah.
maybe give a few more reasons why they're the dumpster fire and why you've decided to spend your life toiling in misery.
Give us another reason for hope. I mean, we've heard, 17,594 reasons for hope for Atlanta over the years, but give us another one. Why not?
Right? Absolutely. Well, speaking of hope, a new week is upon us.
Yes, it is.
Week 9 is here. This week, only 4 teams on bye, and thankfully, 2 of the worst in the Jets and the Browns.
Yeah.
Nobody has to watch this week. Also, thankfully, we don't have to watch the Eagles, and the Bucks get a much needed bye week to rest up and prepare for Week 10. But one game that could be a banger coming out of Week 9 The Lions versus the Vikings.
Oh, I can't wait for this one. Love these divisional battles, especially these two teams when they play. Um, I don't know though. Like Lions entering as heavy favorites. Carson Wentz out for the year now because his non-throwing shoulder injury is just too bad, so they have to perform surgery on it. JJ McCarthy's going to be back in coming off his injury. I don't know, man. Like I don't know what to expect coming out of this. I think it's going to be a Detroit rout. You think those divisional games are always going to be close, but I don't know.
Right. Well, Lions are entering as heavy favorites, 8.5 points, and coming off their bye, so they're pretty well rested. They've probably got a pretty good game plan for the Vikings, as they usually do. But JJ making another appearance here, and it's a pretty stout defense to try and find your groove after
Oh
coming back
yeah.
off injury.
I almost wonder, like, do you think there's a chance with the deadline looming that Minnesota goes out and adds a quarterback, an experienced one, and lets
Uh,
JJ sit the year?
I mean, outside of Cousins, is there really that many available?
Probably not, but they might view anything as like a healthy quarterback as an upgrade over a who knows if he's fully ready to go JJ McCarthy, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know who they could target. I mean, it's obviously a realistic possibility, but I also think that maybe at this point in the year, you're just like, well, we might as well write it out, see what we got in them because they haven't
Yeah.
really gotten a fair share to look at them, and then deal with it after the season.
Well, and now they've lost two in a row. They're 3-4. Like Detroit and Green Bay are there's no way that they're going to catch either of those teams. So I can see that. Like just let JJ play with the year, see what you have in him because we're probably not making the playoffs this year anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even see them matching any of the teams from the West either.
No.
Like I think they're too far gone at this point. But
Yeah.
hopefully, yeah, next week I get to talk about a Lions win, but who knows? Well, one game that has some major potential for game of the week, in my opinion, is the Denver Broncos on the road versus the Houston Texans. We've seen some spike weeks from the Texans. Defense is usually not too bad, and the Broncos are riding at an all-time high right now. So, what do you think about this game?
I mean, I think Denver's a fucking wagon right now, and Bo Nix gonna be hard to stop. I really think that like the just kind of gaining a lot of momentum right now, piling up wins and beating teams that like if you can get some confidence stacking 44 points on a pretty good team like Dallas, obviously their defense is not that great, but their offense could have kept them in that game. And I think, Broncos getting it done on both sides of the ball. I really think that like Stroud is feeling it again this weekend. Like he seems to be like back and forth too, kind of week on, week
Mm-hmm.
off, but he just had a killer game this past week. So,
Yep.
man, this game could be fireworks.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because I feel like both offenses are very young and still learning how to win and play, right? So there's always going to be these inconsistencies as we go along. And yeah, I think that Stroud is feeling a little bit. Obviously, they've had to deal with some injuries and lack of a run game for a little bit. But I think last week we finally saw a little bit of a spike week out of the run game with Chubb and Woody Marks both doing their part.
Yep.
And yeah, the hopefully the Texans offense can figure it out because I'm tired of talking negatively about CJ Stroud. I love that guy.
I know you do, and I
So
love him too. Like, man, he had his best game of the year. He went 30 for 39, 318 yards passing, two touchdowns. One of them to Xavier Hutchinson, who we don't really ever talk much about, but another
mhm.
one to Jaden Higgins, rookie Jaden Higgins. So he's got all kinds of like young weapons. The rookies are starting to emerge a little bit for him, and like I said,
Yep.
played his most complete game of the year. So Houston at 3-4, they're kind of those will they won't they teams right now. But I think
Yep.
at home, I mean, this could be a really good game.
And just like the Calvo luck, and I did this on purpose, I traded him away to you, just that way he could start having a good year.
Does he only play bad when he's on your team?
Yeah, exactly. For
That's
some
funny.
reason. Not the first year, but after that, he's like, oh, Calvo put all of his faith in him.
Well, I need some of
No
those
thanks.
career weeks to keep going here for me. All right.
Sure. Well, one thing is for sure, the Broncos need a win to try and keep those pesky Chiefs at bay, right? So
Certainly do. Yeah.
should be a banger. Speaking of bangers, though, whew, this matchup, anytime you see it on the calendar, makes you just salivate, right? Because
Oh
you
my
always
dad.
never know what's going to happen in the last 2 minutes of the game. But the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bills.
And a potential, pretty much every year,
Yeah,
potential AFC championship preview, right? Between
right?
these two teams. Like,
Feels like it
it
anyways.
feels like
And
it's inevitable. They're going to meet in the playoffs at some point. Massive stakes like this. I mean, it still feels like it's early in the year. We're just shy of the halfway mark, but it still is going to impact AFC seeding standings in each division that they're in. Yeah, like I mean, this game is huge, and I can't wait to see how this plays out.
Well, especially this year, because usually when this game happens, both teams are leading their division,
Yeah.
got a multiple game lead. And for the first time in a few years, these teams are not first in their division.
No, they're
And
both
this
in second
this
in their
game
divisions. Yeah.
is actually very, very important, especially if you see New England and the Broncos both win this week. That could play some tricky plays for the rest of
It's
the year
kind of
here.
true, right? Like in the past like half decade or so, maybe even closer to a decade, like it feels like the Chiefs are like way out in front in the AFC West most years. The Bills are way out in front in the AFC East, and it's like if either of them loses, the stakes aren't really that high. They're still going to be 3 or 4 games up on the rest of the
Right.
divisions, but yeah, you're right. They're both in second place in their divisions. Bills are chasing the Patriots. Obviously, the Chiefs are chasing the Broncos. So yeah,
Mhm.
it does mean a lot.
Right. And the Bills are slight home underdogs, even though, they've kind of owned the regular season rivalry in this matchup lately. And
Hmm.
then it's always the Chiefs getting the better of them in the playoffs. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's going to be a banger and expect a lot of fireworks. Shootout. Don't expect a defensive battle in this one.
No, and you're right. The Bills do usually win these regular season games, but for whatever reason, Josh Allen just cannot get it done against Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. You got to wonder if this is finally the year that he slays the big red dragon. And I
Right.
use pun intended, Big Red, Andy Reid's nickname, right?
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I feel like the Bills are that friend that always say they've changed, then they get drunk and they call their ex and do something stupid. So
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
please, for the love of God, Bills, win this game.
Fallen into old habits for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, another team that I'm excited about because they just keep winning, and I can't figure out if it's like legit or if it's just all smoke and mirrors at this point. I want to say it's legit because I love the coach that they have, the former offensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles, Shane Steichen, the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts, has them out to a 7-1 start, flying high. That offense, dude, is there a better one right now in football?
I don't
Aside
want
from
to. I don't want to be a homer here,
in the
but
AFC?
in the AFC, probably not.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like they've got weapons everywhere. Rookie tight end Tyler Warren has been phenomenal to this
Has he
point.
ever?
Can't say enough about Jonathan Taylor. And I mean, we were debating who's better, Bijan or Gibbs, and I think we didn't do any service to JT by putting him up there. And
JT said, "Hold my beer." Yeah.
right, I mean, perennially especially when he first came out, like he was so highly touted, and then a couple of injuries, and I think that's why you kind of forget about him sometimes. But
Yeah.
this year, he's definitely reminding everybody his talent level, and man, it just feels like every week he's scoring 3 touchdowns.
Hey guys, my name's John. I'm still here. I'm still fucking dominant. Yeah.
Right, no big
Yeah.
deal.
Where like in I think a lot of people probably thought his career was maybe not over, but like his best days were behind him.
Yeah,
And I think he's here to remind us that that is not yet the case.
right. And I mean, like I said, we've talked about it on end, just kind of like we did with Sam Darnold last year, and it's just like, man, where did Daniel Jones come from? And all it takes is a little change of a scenery, and he's looking like Tom Brady out there. Maybe
Yeah,
a little
no.
bit more mobile though.
The Steelers fall to 4-3 after losing to the Green Bay Packers last week, and they're kind of slipping back into what we thought, right? Like that right around 500 team, going
Yeah,
to be just kind of fighting it all year. But this and to kind of join up with an analogy you just used with the Buffalo game, the Colts to me kind of remind me of like the ex who suddenly got their life together, and the Steelers in this situation are like the ex that's stalking the Instagram and like wondering what went wrong.
right. I want you back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like we've kind of talked about, there's few things that are guaranteed in life, and Steelers being 500 is probably one of them, or just
Yeah.
above. So,
Yeah, exactly.
hey, you know what
9-8
though?
incoming.
Like we talked about last week, it's so nice to be able to talk about other teams than the perennial 4 or 5 that we always have to talk about and get so sick of. But
Yeah.
yeah, I can't really get enough of this Colts team right now, especially if they can start getting Josh Downs a little bit more involved. He started a little bit slow because he's just been a little bit injury, but man, Pittman might actually be in line for one of the comeback players of the year. This guy was literally broken last year with a busted back, and this year, man, it seems like every game he's going off.
I haven't even seen any of Pittman's stats this year. What I mean, I assume he's doing pretty well if Daniel Jones is doing well, but
Yeah, I
what
wouldn't say he's necessarily like top 5 or 10, but every game it seems he's got like 4 or 5 catches, 60, 70 yards, putting up a touchdown. Like it's just the offense is clicking. And I guess if you don't really, notice all of them, but they're all still putting up the big points, then they're doing their job right.
I feel like those are usually the better teams, right? Like the teams that use everybody instead of the teams that just use one guy. And like, sure, Jamar Chase is fantastic, and sure, you can throw it to him 25 times a game, and he's going to catch most of them, and he'll catch you a bunch of yards and touchdowns. But you gotta put guys around him. You gotta
Right?
put guys around him. And I feel like the Colts are doing that this year. They're so complete, both sides of the ball. Their defense, we talked so much about their defense last year, and they just kind of, I don't know if like I know they had some injury problems and they're just
Yeah.
some issues like executing on defense, but this year, holy shit, dude, they are locking teams down.
So I just wanted to look it up real quick because I was
Yeah.
curious. So he
Pittman
has
stats?
43 catches
Okay.
for 446 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Not great, like just shy of 1,000 on pace for 1,000 yards, but I mean
Right.
that's still like you're helping your team out. Those are solid numbers.
But if you think about it, in a run heavy offense,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
what more can you ask for if you're kind of like de facto number one receiver than to put up 1,000 yards?
Well, exactly. Considering just Jonathan Taylor already has like what is it, like
A
15
million,
touchdowns? Yeah, it's not even at midseason yet. Like fuck.
right? So
So,
gross.
so
And that's
Pittman's
what
just
I
trying to get
saw
a few
like
here and there wherever he can.
an interesting thing where they're like, man, Saquon didn't win it and he had like 2,000 yards plus last year MVP. And like Jonathan Taylor's on a whole new level this year.
Well,
Like,
not yardage wise, but touchdown
not
wise,
yardage wise, but man, like
scoring wise for
if
sure.
you take
Because
him
the
off that team,
the tush push probably vultured 10 or 12 of Saquon's touchdowns last year. Let's be honest. So
right. But again, you take Jonathan Taylor off that team and they're probably not 7-1.
no, no, he's a huge part of why they're 7-1 for sure. I mean, you could stick anybody back there and they'd probably still be a decent team and probably 5-3 or something like that. But he's probably won them a couple games. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, man.
Well, is there any other games this week that's catching your eye?
I'm actually excited to see how Seattle responds going into Washington. Washington playing another home game here, and they have to bounce back big time. But the Seahawks are like, I feel like it's one of those teams like we're talking a lot about the Colts and the Bills and the Chiefs and the Lions, but the Seattle Seahawks, man, are 5-2 and very quietly, like just getting shit done. They're rising. They're winning on both sides of the ball. They're getting turnovers. They're executing on offense. I'm really a huge fan of what the Seahawks are doing, and the fact that they're doing it quietly and like not trying to draw attention to themselves. Like, don't talk about us, just let us handle our business. Man, watch out for Seattle this year.
Yeah, hey, you're steadily seeing that growth of Sam Darnold, right?
Yeah,
Still building on the year that he had last year.
for sure.
They're just a pure grit team. Like they're not going to blow you out of the water in the run game, but they're going to run it down your throat. They're going to make you tired, and then they're going to blow the top off with Jackson Smith and Jigba. And then you throw Cooper Kupp in the slot, and Torrey Horton's slowly emerging. Same with Arroyo, the rookie tight end.
Yeah,
So
man.
they've got weapons everywhere, and if they can just keep that clicking, their defense is stout enough that they can keep them in the games too. So yeah,
Yeah.
Seattle's a sneaky pick.
The Washington defense right now is just not getting it done. They are not going to stop Seattle this game. I'm telling you that right now. There's no way in hell they stop Seattle this week. Washington's going to be 3-6, and they're, I mean, pretty well out of the running for the division at this point after this week.
Well, there's talks that Jane Daniels might possibly be back this week. He was supposed to start practicing. Didn't think that his injury was too serious, so I think that'll be contingent on how this game goes
Yeah.
if Jaden's in or not.
I mean, he can definitely be a huge difference maker, and if he's in, the Commanders have a much better chance of winning this game. I still think Seattle wins this one going away, though, man.
For sure. Hey,
Yeah.
Seahawks are a wagon.
Yes, sir. Okay, so we've got our week 8 recap. We've got our week 9 hype. Those are the matchups we're looking forward to. We've heard our dumpster fire. Well, let's do our locks and dogs, my dog.
Sure. Well, before we get to that, though, again, if you've agreed with anything we've said, drop a comment. Tell us. If you
Yes.
disagreed, please, by all means, drop a like and a comment. Tell us how dumb we are. I love it.
Engagement.
Um,
Hit us up.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you are liking this content, again, please hit like, share it, subscribe, tell your friends. We love pumping this content out for you. But speaking of wagons, Calvo locks. 8-0, buddy.
Calvo hits 8-0 with his locks. This guy cannot lose this year. So you went with the Chiefs last
With
week.
locks, anyways.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. So you went with the Chiefs last week. They dismantled Washington. I gotta know who you're going with. I have a feeling you're gonna get cocky here with your lock pick this week at 8-0.
Always cocky. Well, if you're 8.5 favorites, how do you not? And
Yeah,
I
true
give us
enough.
credit. We didn't take the absolute locks of the week, or at least I didn't. I didn't take the Rams, although I picked them in Survivor because how can you not playing the Saints? But yes, Detroit Lions over the Minnesota Vikings. I think having JJ out there, he's going to be seeing ghosts all over the place, and we're just going to run the ball down their throats. So
Yeah, man.
let's go Lions.
My locks record sitting at 5-3, climbing back to respectable. I took my Eagles last week. I did the homer treatment, and my Eagles got it done against the Giants. So I'm at 5-3 this week, buddy. I gotta go with those Ravens, Baltimore Ravens in Miami. I just feel like they're getting Lamar back, even if they weren't getting Lamar back. Like that win last week against the Bears was like an energy win, and like it's like a turning point win for these Baltimore Ravens. So I'm going with them as my lock.
One thing is you can never predict the NFL because one would assume the Chicago Bears this year are a better team than the Dolphins, right?
You'd think.
But here we are. So
Logic often does not dictate in the NFL.
sure. And then so who's your pick for the dogs this week, man?
I've been struggling there. I've two in a row I've lost
You're
now.
streaking.
In the wrong direction. I
The
was
shit
five and
streak.
one. I'm 5-3 with my dogs record now, so not good. I picked the Cowboys. They fucking got shit on. So I gotta go with the Buffalo Bills. I gotta go with the Buffalo Bills. They're at home. They typically win these regular season matchups against Kansas City, so they're hosting Mahomes. I think they're gonna get it done. 6-3 dogs record next week.
Whew. Getting cocky indeed.
It's gotta happen.
Man,
Buffalo
I
Bills.
was I was so close to winning last week and pulling this record a little bit closer to you, but yeah, the Steelers pick that I picked last week did not come to fruition.
No.
But I got a good feeling about this week. And even though I love the Texans, I'm taking the Broncos on the road.
How are the 6-2 Broncos
Okay. I don't make the rules, man.
underdogs going into the 3-4 Houston Texans?
I don't make the rules,
Wow.
man.
That is not well, that's we're playing by the rules, so Calvo's allowed to pick it. He'll probably win Broncos over the Texans to improve his dog record. You're sitting at 2-6 with your dog record, my man.
Yeah, I need a little work on there. So
You
maybe if I
cannot
can
pick
get a
those
couple
underdogs.
layups
So.
here, then
Yeah, hopefully the Broncos are a layup for you.
yeah, hopefully.
Well, what do you say? You want to wrap it and go enjoy some week 9?
Yeah, I don't want to enjoy week 9. I want to go enjoy game 5 of the Toronto Blue Jays versus the LA Dodgers World Series. And let's before we recap, let's just talk about it. I've seen
Yeah, we got time. This is our
multiple
podcast.
comments out there that this has been one of the worst World Series. Like, if you seriously think that,
How?
you do not love baseball. Like, you have an 18 inning game, you've had a blowout in game 1 for the Jays, counter point in game 2.
Yeah.
Game 3 is absolutely wild, and then a close battle in game 4.
They're going back and forth. They're 2-2. Like, how is this not entertaining?
Yeah.
We got a best of 3 here to wrap this thing up.
The most beautiful part about this, and win or lose, obviously we want a Jays win. We're homers here.
Yeah.
But they have a chance to do it in front of their fans again after 32 years.
Yeah.
And things are kind of playing out kind of eerily similar, right? And
I think so.
I hope we can steal one tonight to put the pressure on the Dodgers going into game 6.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna
sure how to help you with that.
Alexa, shut up. I'm leaving that in, I think. What were you saying? Sorry.
that creeped the hell out of me all of a sudden.
It creeped me out.
What the hell was that? I'm gonna call it right now. If it goes to game 6, which it obviously is in Toronto, but the Jays are up 3-2 going into game 6, the Joe Carter moment is going to be Mr. Alejandro Kirk.
You think Kirk to walk it off for the World Series?
Kirky to walk it off for the ship.
Like a full-on walk-off, or like a lead taking home run in the late innings or something?
No, like
a full-on walk-off in the ninth.
Full-on walk-off.
Or later. Ninth
or later.
Yeah.
And I want to see that man trot the bases to win it all.
Big rotund Alejandro Kirk just chugging around the bases as the Jays win the World Series. I'd fucking love to see it, my guy. Game 5 tonight in LA. If the Jays can win and go back home for the final, well, game 7 if necessary, but for sure game 6 in Toronto with a 3-2 lead. You got to
Please end it in 6, man. I'm so tired this week between the babies staying up all damn night. I watched all 18 innings of that game the other night, and I paid the price for it. The
Dodgers won last year. They don't need a repeat. The Jays are due. 32 years it's been since the Jays have won. The Jays are due.
Take a seat.
Take a seat, Dodgers, for sure. Man, I'm gonna be so hyped at thinking like if we can go home for game 6 with the lead. I really think that like I don't know how if you're a fan of the Dodgers, sure, fine. You're obviously, but like if you're a fan of baseball from literally any other place on the continent, you have to be pulling for the Jays here. Come on.
Americans won't though. The only Canadians they love are us two idiots. So
I think so. Yeah, we're their favorites. Yeah.
all right. Well, I think that pretty much caps episode 9, right?
Yeah, I think Bravonians get at us if you have any comments, likes, concerns. Maybe you hate Calvo's dumpster fire of the week. Maybe you're a rabid Falcons fan, or maybe you want to talk to us about Cam Scadaboo or any number of injuries that have really kind of got you down or fucked up your fantasy team this year.
Mhm.
Get at us. We'd love to hear about it. You can follow us on socials. We got our Facebook, we got our Instagram up. You can follow us. We'd love if you subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Obviously, if you're watching us here, you're probably a subscriber, but maybe you just caught us in passing. Subscribe for more of us. We have a lot of fun here. We have a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And I think you can tell we're not professionals. We don't
No,
claim to be.
no.
We're just two dudes having a good time talking about football.
I think we're professionals in the same way that raccoons are professional garbage inspectors. Just siphoning through the trash and finding a couple little nuggets of gold.
I think that tracks, buddy.
Pretty tracks, yeah, pretty well, yeah.
Sure. Well, can't wait to see how it all unfolds this week.
Hey, and next week we got the Bravos, so our mid-season
absolutely.
awards.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to that.
Woo.
Woo. All right.
Go
So
Jays.
for Calvo, I'm Brooksy. Go Jays, go. We'll see you next week. This has been the NFLA.